and we are running off the star's energy. Think about that.
Talking about solar panels, batteries, inverters, all of the electronics that go into making our RV work and making us comfortable while we're out in the woods. We have quite the system. We bought, when we bought our RV, it was completely stock. All that the previous owner had done was they had put 2 6-volt golf cart batteries in the RV, which that's what we still have because it seems to be working, and that's what our budget allowed for. So you got to keep all that stuff in mind when you are building a system. It's like, yes, we want the best thing we can get, but at the same time, things cost money. So I'm going to just walk through our budget for the entire build, kind of what we ended up spending, all of the components that we have on our RV and why we chose them. Some of them we chose just because they were the right price, not necessarily because they were the biggest, best thing. So let's get to it. I actually got connected with a guy that buys panels by the pallet load and then resells them, and so I was able to get 2 320 watt monocrystalline panels for only $160 a piece, $150 a piece, something like that. Our inverter, we got way more inverter than we have battery power. So we have a Renogy 3000 watt inverter. It's their inverter charger. It wires directly into our 110 volt system for the RV. So every outlet in the RV can be powered while we're on battery power, which is awesome. It also has a multi-stage charger so that it keeps our batteries. It has a specific charge profile for our flooded batteries, which is exactly what we need. Yeah, so total, including some of the odds and ends, you know, connectors, bus bars, all that stuff, total we spent about $850, give or take a little bit, obviously. But that's every component we would need minus the batteries, like I said, because we chose to take our time, and we bought the inverter used. We're actually going to go outside and kind of walk through the system with you, show you all of the things. So let's go outside and take a look at everything we've got going on. Where the magic happens. Batteries, inverter, charge controller. Boom bang. Ow. We're gonna show you this the best that we can, but where we're parked, the RV is super low, so we get to crouch. Ta-da. Enjoy my beautiful legs. Okay. 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. These are Napa batteries. They're the higher end ones. They came with our RV, so we didn't see a need to replace them because they were new when we bought the RV, and they actually have worked out pretty well for us. In the future, we'd like to upgrade to lithiums, but these actually work great for what we've needed so far. We have way too much inverter for what we need. This is a 3000 watt Renogy inverter charger, so it has charging profiles for the batteries themselves, and it inverts as much power as we would ever need. It's way more than these batteries can handle, but it was the right price. We got it used, so it was actually a really good deal. The next thing is the charge controller. This converts all of your power from your solar panels into usable power for the batteries. And this also has a multi-stage charging profile so that it'll protect our batteries, it'll help them last longer because it can do a trickle charge or bulk charging or anything like that that we might need. The next thing is our bus bars here. So this connects all of the components we're talking about together. Pull this cover off here. So all of our positive wires go into one space. That makes everything really nice and clean, and it makes it so that you don't have all these connections right on the battery posts. So that's about it. I mean, there's obviously little nuances here and there, but the flow of power, we can go from our panels to our charge controller and down into the bus bars here, and that power can either charge the batteries, or it can feed directly into our inverter or our 12-volt system, obviously, for the RV. So running our lights or our water pump or our anything like that, but going through the inverter, it'll also run any of our outlets, our Wi-Fi, ceiling fans, stuff like that. So everything is powered through this. Originally in an RV, all you will get in most older RVs, ours is a 2001, what you would get in something like this is a deep cycle battery, probably a 12-volt battery, and that's it. And you just have a wire coming off to feed your 12-volt system in the back that we'll show you, and that's it, really. So we've added essentially everything you see here. There's a huge space here. I mean, you can see my arm, it covers a lot of this space. So these batteries are huge. We could triple our battery capacity essentially because we have tons of space here, which is awesome because I can store extra things in here for now, but then we have huge potential to upgrade if we decide to. Last component in here is this shunt. That's what it's called. This is our main negative for the battery system, and what that does is it reads the current in and out of the batteries so that we can get an accurate reading inside, and we'll show you the little display we have. It'll give you an accurate reading of exactly how much power is coming in and how much power is going out and your battery percentage and all of that. So there you go, that's the battery bay. Let's go look at the solar panels. We're not bougie, and our RV did not come with a ladder. This is our ladder. This is our roof. These are our solar panels. And I don't know what brand they are. Doesn't matter, they still work. Okay? They're both 320 watts. That's maximum output. They're 35 volts output essentially each. We have them wired in series, so they output 70 volts to the charge controller. We have the wires run here, just tied up real nice so they don't flop around, and they just run over and down with this tank vent. That way we didn't have to drill any holes. So, I mean, it's very straightforward. They have their own connectors, they connect together, and then we just wire in the wire to go down. I built these brackets. They're just an aluminum C-channel. And the nice thing is then I was able to just use one bracket in the center to hold both panels. So, very simple, straightforward. Welcome inside where it's air conditioned. This is our control center, if you will. Basically we've got the just on and off switch. This is for the Renogy inverter, so we can kick it off, and this shuts all inverted power off to the RV. Kick it back on, we can hear it beep.
The one time it doesn't do it.
Never mind. Normally it beeps. Anyway, this will show us if it actually has power coming through it. If it's inverting power, the light will be blinking, this little green light. And then it also has a fault light here, so if there's some sort of error or something with the inverter, we'll know about it, and that light will be blinking. The other thing is our battery monitor, like I mentioned earlier. It's right here, so it shows battery percentage. It'll show us amps in and out, which is nice, number of amp hours in the actual battery, and you can see it's flashing right now. That actually means it's charging the batteries because we're having solar come into the system. So that's what you get. Yeah, that's it for these. Now that we've shown you our entire solar power system, you can see that it's can be complicated, but it also can be fairly simple if you want it to be. It's not for everyone. You know, if you stay in RV parks with hookups all the time, there's no need for solar. If you go out, you know, a handful of times every year because you're just camping, maybe you just do a little 100-watt solar panel that you set out to keep your battery topped off while you're out in the woods. We have a big system because we like to be off-grid as much as possible, and we live full-time in this rig, so we need the power to run all of this stuff. Let me just show you here. We've got computers on all of her electronics.
Plug in my phone.
So, I mean, you can see we got plenty of stuff to power, and all of it's powered by the limited system that we have built on a very small budget. So just keep that in mind if you're actually considering going this route. It's too short. I can't show.
Scary part's getting down.
You got up here. That's something. Can you stand? That's the question.
My butt's gonna be all dirty.
Yeah, it is. All chalky. Ew! You did it!
I know my heights.
I'm so proud of you.
My feet are so
I'm so proud of you. You made it all the way down.
That was rough.
I lost my train of thought.
Now that you've seen our solar system with all of our planets,
Now that you've seen our solar system,
which includes Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Sometimes. Is Pluto a planet again?
it's not Uranus.
Is it Uranus?
It is.
Uranus.
Oh my gosh.